Wazzy Wazzies! How are we? How are we all? Okay, so I'm going to give you a little story time. I was going to give you a little peaceful on the balcony story time situation. Although that's not going to happen now, because this particular situation that I want to tell you guys about is a little bit emotional, and that's why I'm walking to do it, because I thought, no, if I sit down and try to tell you this, I might get emotional and start crying, and it's me bloody B-Day. Day of birth. So yeah, I'm going to do it as I walk along and hopefully avoid getting too emotional. Now, I saw the thing before that says you can spin it back around, but now no doubt, oh wait, there it is. Oh no, see, that's a camera. You can take a picture, but you can't spin it back around. So here we are, you're stuck looking at my face. Sorry, I can turn it around like that, and then you can see that lovely couple ahead of me. But until then, stuck with me. Okay, so let me begin with explaining the situation of the situation. So, I went down to the Gold Coast to try to reunite with my father. I was approximately 26, and so I went and got the phone book and started looking up all the winners in the phone book. Started at W, obviously that's hypothetical because some of the weirdos, but anyone who knows, knows, and anyone who doesn't know, doesn't know, doesn't know. So there's me, little old innocent me, down there trying to find my father in the phone book. Then, after ringing all the numbers in the phone book and being told, nope, never heard of him, don't know him, months go by, obviously time goes by. I'm with my cousin. Yes, and I'd never grown up with him, I didn't know him, we met as adults, and some kind of inappropriate things might have happened, and judge me if you want to, but that's your call, because you don't know the fucking full story, so whatever. Anyway, long story short, back down there, living in a caravan park at this stage, because, you know, Gold Coast, expensive. It's pretty much like California, let's say Beverly Hills, California. So there's me trying to find my dad, and I'm walking around, and at this stage I'd gone and seen these born again Christians, and they were beautiful, and they helped me, and they were really lovely, and I did pray to them. I was desperate. I was like praying for some kind of safety. I was like, save me. You know, I could feel shit was desperate. Stuff wasn't getting better, you know, and shade. Try not to drag this story on too long, but I want to get to the gist of it. So, the caravan park, met these Christians, asked them to pray for me because they wanted to pray for me. They're beautiful people, you know. I think they were African type, you know, they did the gospel. It was gospel. It wasn't like sit there and read the Bible church. It was sit there and sing, and it was uplifting, you know, beautiful. Meanwhile, on the drugs, okay? Drinking like a carton of VB a day between two of us. It's like 12 full strength lagers, beer, but whatever. It makes me sick just thinking about it. So yes, we're at the caravan park, and my cousin was up to no good. He was on a really one-way mission to nowhere, and before this, you know, the timeline's very warped, but somewhere around here is where the meth lab was in the kitchen, and I literally had to say to this bikie dude that was cooking it, you're killing him, please take it, go, you know, because he'd sample it. For every ounce that they made, he would get a gram, you know, to sample it and make sure that it wasn't caustic and whatnot, and guinea pig it, pretty much. So, and I said to this guy, because he wanted me to make him up a shot while he was in the shower, and I begged his missus, I said, please, it's killing my cousin, can't you see what's going on? He's dying, you know. And literally that night, packed all the glassware up in his gat and everything in the back of the car, and we did a runner. And I was so scared because I had this random dude who I'd never even met, you know, and my cousin was too fried, unfortunately, to be of any assistance at all. And if you know, you know. So anyway, back to the story. So along there, and then we're living in a caravan park, and he ended up, his father passed away, and there's a lot of bits and pieces to this that are really convoluted and, you know, complicated. So basically, I started having a little difficulty with my eye, and I could notice that there was quite a lot of significant difference in my visual. Now, when you close one eye, most people do have a difference in their optical range. Like my left eye was obviously less sharp than my right eye. And, you know, this went on, and I wasn't well. I was sick every single day. And at this particular time, I was on the Suboxone program, and that was an extreme close-up. I was not well. I was actually sharing the Suboxone that I was getting sublingually. I was sharing it with my cousin. Okay, make that of what you will. But I was not ingesting it all. Whatever I got on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, every single thing I got, I shared with him, which was probably not the best idea, because somewhere along the line I did realize, and I have to start walking because there's people coming. Somewhere along the line I realized that my eyes were quite significantly different in the visual appearance. And so looking at it, not much, but looking out from it, yes, I could pick up on it. I could feel it. And so went to see an eye specialist down the Goldie, and he said it was corneal stromal dystrophy. Yeah, corneal stromal dystrophy or something like this, you know. And so he gave me a referral to go to the doctor at the hospital, which I think it was a 6-week waiting period. And in this time, my cousin's mum, my auntie, she passed away of chronic myeloid leukemia complications, and very, very hard and sad and tragic, you know. And I just got goosebumps. I'm not going to tap into that emotion because I don't want to cry right now. So then that was all happening, and then Mum came, just so happened to be down the Gold Coast, and took me to Brisbane with my cousin to this appointment that I had to check out the corneal stromal dystrophy. And at this particular appointment, when I got there, little did I know they wanted to do a biopsy on my frickin' eyeball. So instead of checking in, day surgery, 30 minutes, adios amigos, no. Surrender your freaking freedom. You're staying with us for at least 24, 48 hours, depending on the biopsy. So this was news to me, because I don't think they even knew until I got there that they were going to have to do a biopsy, because who even thinks of these kinds of things, and who even knows what this is, you know, what it involves. So instead of me going to an appointment and then going home the same day, they dropped me off there. No? And it was, okay, I didn't love it, let's put it that way. And so they dropped me off at the hospital, and the hospital was like, oh, you're getting put in now, you're an inpatient now. So little did I know, corneal stromal dystrophy turned into fungal endocarditis, which a lot of people actually not only die from, but have to have severe heart surgery complications for the rest of their lives. And so there I was, and Mum and Brendan, my cousin, who is in heaven now, rest his soul, otherwise I wouldn't be speaking so openly about it out of privacy for him and his family. But okay, so they left me there at the hospital, and they're like, see you later, bye. You know, obviously they didn't realize how traumatizing it was going to be either, because neither did I. And most of the time when you think of biopsy, okay, they're going to take a little piece and you know, whatever. But when it comes to the eyeball, doing a biopsy is much more complicated, obviously, because your eye is an organ, it's alive. So putting a needle into an eye is a very, very delicate procedure, needless to say. And nevertheless, there I was, minding my own business, unsedated, and getting a needle put in my eye. So it was quite frightening, and at this particular time, I do believe I was around about 28, 29 maybe, 29, because I had just found out that my father had passed away. And so my search to find him was why I was down there, you know, and it all came crumbling down. And to top it all off, I had this growth, this fungal growth that kaput my eyeball. And then I was given so much mismatched information. I was told, sorry, I'm in the middle of a road. I was told by one of the surgeons, because as I think Mosaic Mama was saying with her arms story, that all the specialists were coming in, and same with me. I had like 10 of them all sitting there, and then they had to tell the story to each new person, and it was a constant thing. It was like the freaking main attraction, the freak show, you know, and everyone wanted to come and see the freak show. And it was quite disturbing, because the first specialist told me that I had a 30% chance of getting 50% vision back, or some numbers like that. No, 50% chance of getting 30 vision back, or 50% chance of getting 30% vision back in that eye. And so then when I went to see the specialist, and the specialist turned around and said, "Who told you that? 30% vision? No, honey, we got to take your eyeball out." So that was quite shocking, you know, when you go from thinking that you got 50% chance of 30% vision down to 0% chance because we're taking the fricker out. You know, where's the warning? Where's the fucking soft and fluffy pillows? There's nothing. You just suck it up and you find a way to fucking deal with it. And that's pretty much where we are now. But yeah, so when they did that biopsy, they literally had to hold me down because I was having a panic attack on the table. As anyone would, you know, it goes against nature to put a needle in your eye. And I remember when we were little, we used to say, "Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye." It was like the freaking ultimate thing not to do. So, yeah, I feel like I crossed that bridge. And afterwards, I was in there for a week in the infectious disease ward because I'm pretty sure they thought I had AIDS or something, or like something worse, like Ebola. And this is before COVID, so everyone was scrambling, and I had my own room, which was great because I was still in the swings and the throngs of alcoholism at this stage. And as soon as I could get out of there, I remember going to the bottle-o and getting a 6-pack and smuggling it back into my private little hospital room. And yeah, and so my eye was all effed up. It was like a massive big like a spider bite eye, and it was red. You know, your orbit and the white bit, red, all red. So yeah, it was intense and it was a lot, and more than anything, I survived it. And that's why I just want to tell everybody out there who thinks that they can't get through something or whatever, you know, if I can go through that after everything that just lined up towards that, I just want to say you can do it too. Okay? Sorry about the extreme close-up, but I'm dealing with the elements out. And tell you about, that's the eye we're talking about. Okay. Love you guys. Deuces.